Understanding the manipulation of matter.
About this video article. This article is being turned into a video article in 2023 and will be included in the 2015 flashback video article playlist for posterity. While the article could be completely rewritten to better communicate some of the points within, it is being created and included the way it was written, with some minor edits, primarily to preserve it, and to convey the thought process I was going through at the time it was written, and obviously, I had not come to the conclusions and realizations that I have now come to.
Understanding the manipulation of matter. November 3, 2015. If you were wondering aloud about the universe and everything in it, and you came to a conclusion that all matter is made up of the proton, and that within the proton, three forces are at play that can conform to any environment, you could come to the conclusion that matter can be molded to fit your immediate needs. What we are talking about here is a matter replicator. How could it be possible to take a machine, put raw matter into it, and have it produce on command an object or tool, materials, or even a weapon, and is such a thing even possible? Yes, this is possible, and the science is the easy part. Engineering and designing the complete system to be practical and usable is the real challenge, but first it must be on a scientific foundation. With this we have to look at the lightest elements, hydrogen and helium. With this, let's ultimately go through the motions of converting hydrogen into helium, then we will extrapolate the theory to encompass more dense materials, but ultimately this is just the foundation of concept and needs a lot more work. So, take a proton, the electron is not important, it can, or will regenerate. Hydrogen is a single proton, and its electron, the electron is simple entanglement, and therefore not an issue, it will regenerate itself if it gets lost, though this is very coarse science, this is just the foundation of the replicator. Take the proton from a hydrogen source and accelerate it towards the speed of light. Before getting as fast as the speed of light, the proton will teleport or disappear. This is all dependent on the exact magnetic field the replicator is in. The best place for a replicator is in zero gravity, as in deep space, not anywhere near any mass whatsoever. But this is impossible from a practical point of view. Point is, magnetic fields have to be accommodated for in this process. This process is primarily entirely driven by magnetism. Okay, so take the proton stream, accelerate it, just fast enough, and at the exact point where if it goes any faster it will disappear, you release it into a vacuum, the single proton stream will become helium. With the helium, through a magnetic field, you accelerate the helium stream to the speed it would disappear. If it was not in a magnetic field, at this point you release the helium stream into a vacuum, it will convert to lithium. It's that simple. The trick to the replicator is getting multiple magnetic streams of materials to precisely converge within a single zone, and using a second, third, or multiple magnetic fields within this zone to precisely 3D print the object or desired item. Getting the raw materials to their elemental points is not the hard part, it's taking those material streams and converging them in the correct process to facilitate the fabrication of the item involved. Note on temperature, with all this energy, temperature will also become a factor, but, with the proper magnetic fields and overall design process, the machine could be positioned in a deep magnetic field that would both negate temperature and time. Let's say the process of building a half-socket wrench, steel shaft about a foot long with half-moon opening on one end, and a circular notched opening on the other end, galvanized, would take 5 days and produce tremendous amounts of heat. How could you resolve the time and heat involved? Simple. You put the entire machine in a deep magnetic field. This will make the process appear to be magic. You will speed up the process, reduce the heat and control the machine with greater precision. Edit 2023, just to elaborate, extreme magnetic fields, slow time, from the perspective of someone on the outside of the magnetic field. So, if you run a machine like this, inside a strong magnetic field, it will operate much faster and operate at cooler temps. Stay tuned, soon, I plan on elaborating on this very important physical property of the universe. One could even envision a machine that can do this with just the use of magnetic field manipulation, but the granularity of precision is beyond my comprehension at the moment. Or I just like to think big, and thinking so small is distasteful to my overall palate. But the results and theory are the same. This is true, Orion Michael Guy. Think of a machine that is controlled by an extremely radioactive programming crystal at its core, with the ability to manipulate magnetic fields at the quantum level. Sound familiar?